Hello all, myself Ms. Deepika Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry in GD Goenka University. I am here to present the video tutorials or organic compounds, the chemical basis of life. These tutorials incorporate the detailed insight of the organic compounds, which are basically the necessity of life and form the biochemical constitution of the human body. An illustration of carbohydrates has been specifically taken into account, which are also a kind of organic compounds. So, moving to the next slide, carbon, oxygen and hydrogen are the basic requirement of the life on earth. Carbon has found a profound role as an element both chemically and biochemically. I am here to emphasize the structure and molecule function of biochemical constitution of carbohydrates, and the main objective is to illustrate the significance of organic compounds and biomolecule. I hope you will find the video easy to understand, and if you want to make me prepare any other video of this series, kindly comment in the comment box below. Organic compounds, if we can say, are a large class of chemical compounds in which one or more carbon atoms are covalently linked to the other atoms or elements, commonly your hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. These substances make up the living organism and help them to carry out the life processes through a particular type of biochemical reaction. Major element being your carbon, without which the life will cease to exist. As you can see in the figure, human body takes up oxygen from the plants, we designate as autotroph, convert into water and CO2 to perform the biochemical function. The phenomena that is carried out by the heterotrophs, animals, fungi, bacteria, and these take up the released carbon dioxide and convert it into the organic compounds, which are further utilized by the human body. So far we have briefed the introduction of organic compounds. Now friends, we are moving forward to describe the significance of important element of the periodic table, that is carbon. As you all know, millions of carbon containing organic compounds, moreover our basic diet, constitutes everything which is all a type of organic compound in one sense or the other. If I name, these are namely your carbohydrates, fats, lipids and nucleic acid. If we talk about carbon, it shows the very important property of catenation and forms single, double or even multiple bonds with other elements. So carbon as a whole forms the most vital constituent of the organic compounds. Therefore, the carbohydrates comprise of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen and are basically, if I talk about other functional group, these are polyhydroxy compounds, means they contain many hydroxyl or the OH group. They also contain at least one aldehydic or ketonic group, as we can see in glucose and fructose respectively, as you can see in the slide. Basically, carbohydrates are the hexose sugar, means they consist of 6 carbon atoms and can be categorized as aldoses or ketoses. This is all about the chemical constitution or the chemical composition of the carbohydrates. Remember, carbohydrates are also known as saccharides. The word saccharide has been derived from saccharin, which means sweet sugar. We do have monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. So if we talk about carbohydrates, they are smaller units known as monosaccharides, and mono means 1 unit. Similarly, di, as you all know, means 2 units, poly means many monomer units linked together through the glycosidic linkage, more specifically the O-glycosidic linkage. This type of carbohydrates in diet are further categorized as simple carbohydrates, as we can found in milk, fruits, vegetables, sugars that provide energy but do not contain any mineral or fiber. Complex carbohydrates are found in bread, legumes, pasta, rice and vegetables, and also contain vitamin, minerals and fiber. Hence, this is the simplest classification of carbohydrates, as we can see in the slides. So, if we cut it short, this is carbs everywhere. Actually, a diet consists of a large proportion of carbs that may be simple, complex or both. If we take example of a simple carb, they are required for instant energy. Other biochemical functions are being performed by the complex carb, And this is the reason why we know nowadays stress on very high fruit intake, because as you can see in the slide, fruit consists of both the complex and the simple carbs which are required by the body. So if I make you clear, up till now we have studied the significant, type and utility of carbohydrate as a whole. In case of any doubt, friends, you can ask me in the comment box below if you feel like asking something. So my next slide, as you can see, is a tabular classification of the various type of carbohydrates, where you can easily see the simple, complex compounds or carbohydrates further classified into different saccharides. And these different saccharides are monosaccharide of 1 unit, that is your glucose and fructose, disaccharide such as your maltose and sucrose, and the disaccharides again are of 2 types, homosaccharides and heterosaccharides. Homosaccharides are made up of the same monomer unit, whereas your heterosaccharides are made up of different monomer units. Polysaccharides are a type of complex carbohydrates, example the starch and the glycogen, fibers, etc. Moving on to the next slide, you can see the formula and the place where different saccharides are found. For example, the glucose and fructose, galactose all have the same chemical formula as C6H12O6, the monomer unit found in the fruits, milk, DNA and RNA. Then again we closely observe the formula. For the disaccharide, it changes to C12H22O11, because here we have combined the 2 units of monomer together. So this is found in the table as sugar and malt. Polysaccharide has many units. Starch, for example, provide energy, found in potatoes, where glycogen is stored in the human liver. Cellulose can be easily observed in plant cell wall, and chitin in insects. Now in our upcoming slides, we are going to see the structure, linkages in mono, di and polysaccharides. In monosaccharides, the simplest example is the glucose or the fructose. For disaccharides, you can see we have 1 unit of glucose linked to 1 unit of fructose. Here we name it as heterodisaccharide. If it is the same glucose unit, we'll name it as homodisaccharide. And the linkage between the glucose and the fructose is the O-glycosidic linkage. C1 of 1 unit is linked to the carbon 4. C means carbon 4 of the another unit, and the linkage is defined as 1,4-glycosidic linkage. The structure is displayed in the slide and is the pyranose form of glucose, which is a heterocyclic moiety, and again the furanose form of fructose, but the ultimate destination is to provide energy. The next slide suggests the structure of starch. If you can see, it is a complex structure and it consists of the glucose linked in the form of a helix through 1,4-glycosidic linkages in amylose. And if it is a straight chain helix structure, it is an amylose, and if it is branch units of glucose alpha-1,6 linkage, it is amylopectin. Together, these amylose and amylopectin constitute the starch, which we have discussed in the polysaccharide. And besides providing the energy, this also forms the structural component of tissues in our body. So dear friends, this was a very basic description of organic compounds. And here we can conclude that this all is possible due to the exceptional ability of carbon to form significant bonds with other elements, resulting in the formation of organic molecules that are the integral part of human structural makeup, as well as they provide energy. So if we talk about nucleic acid in a brief scenario, then your nucleic acid help in transferring the genetic material from the parents to the offspring. And again, we have sugars in our DNA. In protein synthesis, they are required. With the help of RNA, they conduct the protein synthesis, which we will study sometime later. I hope all of you have found the topic easy to understand, and we have completed a bit about the organic compounds with this particular session. So I just want to say that if you face any kind of difficulty, feel free to comment and ask. This will be appreciable, and if you have enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe our channel, Suma's Evolution Classes, for all the interesting videos. Stay tuned to the channel. So hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.